Good morning everyone. I was working yesterday during the streaming in this small area with the grapes, and I think it's finished, at least this area, and I was just leaving a few space that maybe in the future I will try to do something more that I didn't think right now. So for now this area is finished, I'm not working on it anymore, and also the fence is looking well. I will also keep this one. What I want to do today is I have a few things pending for the demo that I'm planning to finish it next week. So I have a few issues that were reported, and I would like to fix all of them before I'm just creating a new build. And one of the things that I have, because I don't want to add new things, and one of the things that I have is this one that I was just working yesterday also on this chart controller on blade tag. So this bell is playing 2 times a day, and I was just creating this loop which is not working yet, but the code is in C++, so I was just working on it. And what I want to do is, so I can remove this code that is not used anymore. What I want to do is only playing if the player is not sleeping, because for sleeping I'm dismissing all the sounds like the river, and also birds around, so the ambient sound. So for that probably I will need to reduce the sound, but thinking because the audio manager is managing the sound, and probably what I need to do is just remove the master volume, which is not exactly, oh no, sorry, no, this is not action manager, audio manager. So here when you are enter building, for example, you are managing the sound about the ambient sound, but when you are starting this fade in and out, it's just starting sleeping, so it's also fading in and out the sound of the river, and yeah, doing a few things managing of that. But probably what I need to do is fading out the master volume, otherwise it's just here, for example, need to be if there is charge, I think, so I will just add it here, a new one, charge, and need to be charge VP, and what I want to do is when the player is going to sleep, also should be reduce the volume of this one. So this kind of this delay, and this here, if there is a river, it's just doing that, and then I should do also here adding if there is a valid charge. So for that I will add here a new reroute node. It will go here. That's easy just to continue this, and we need things here in the middle doing the same as the river, but in that case it will be for the charge. So in case that is charge is valid, this is the one, yes. So in case that this is not valid, it's just continuing, there's nothing more to do. And if this one is valid, I should do this fade in and out event or something like that. That is also managing by this charge controller, because the sound is there. So I should maybe add here a new function like fade in out sound. Well, if Unreal Engine is not crashing, so we start crashing again like yesterday for some reason. Okay, sorry, we'll start again. I hope it's working fine, because yesterday was restarting for 10 minutes and then 30 seconds, then 10 minutes opening, then 30 seconds. I was just leaving the streaming because I was spending really too much time on it. Maybe there is something with some blueprint, I really don't know. And I'm planning to move to the new 4.18 already, but there's a problem there with the Nativized blueprint, so I cannot move there until they fix this one. I was waiting for the hot fix, but yeah, still waiting. So if in case that this is something in this version, I hope this is fixed later. In case that it's something from my blueprints, I would like to know which one, because I don't have any, I don't know, anything being there. Even case during the editor not really been playing, so there's something strange. That should be, I really don't know what is this. What the problem is something about the editor or something about my. We'll see what's going today. Restore just in case. So I need to create a new function here. Let's see. I think we have lost what we did already on the audio manager, I think. Yes, we have lost everything as usual. We need to redo. So what we need to do is here create a new function that's managing this kind of the setting of the river. So just fade in out. This is uneven. Yeah, this is uneven because I think we need to use, for example, kind of timeline or delay or something like that. So I will create here a custom event. Fade in out. We need also a parameter like this is fade in or out. So let's fade it out. Okay. We can call here this one. Fade in out event. In case this is valid. I go here new rewrote node. So we can manage easier later if we need to add something. So this is the one that we need to duplicate here. I'm using this one as just one node. So basically what we need to do is just calling this controller that we have here. Probably we need to do exactly the same. So for that case, this controller, the one that we are managing is the sound. But okay, this is the bell. Okay, so we don't need this bell, but we need not the controller but the bell, because the bell is the one that is really playing this sound. Okay, child actor, and then cast to bell pp. So I have already this bell, and this bell is playing just this sound. That could be. Let's be careful about this all the time. So bell, which is blueprints. I think it's buildings here as well. And play event is play loop here. What's my loop? This is the loop here. Play sound event. This is just playing this. So this is the sound being played, I think. Yes. So this is the sound being played. I would like to have is just a reference for this one all the time, so I know that. This is the sound being played, and I can reduce the sound for this one. So let's say sound, or yeah, this sound is fine. And need to be sound base. Yes. And what I'm doing is just setting here every time that I play. This is here. Here. Yes. So at any time, if this one is playing, this is also another checking that we need to do. I think it's playing here. Yeah. So we can check if it's playing. So it means you have at least one sound here being played. So we could change the volume of the sound, the same that we are doing, for example, with a river. And reduce this one when the player is sleeping, so to reduce the sound for all of them. In that case, I need to do this custom event also, and then fade in out. Just do exactly the same with the river and any other that I'm doing in the future. Just try to manage all of them the same way. So for that, I will check now the river, which is blueprints environment thing, and it's just river here, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's easy. So just duplicate this, and then we will just check this. So this is out, no. This is, in that case, instead of being exactly, what we need to check is playing. So we have read this one here. So get is playing. Oh, wait. This is here. And then what we don't need this set. Let's check. Okay, the audio, we have this sound, this one thing. So this is sound that need to be modulated on volume. Can I just adjust volume? Well, the thing is just playing this sound. I would like to change the volume, but I don't remember how to do that. Adjust stop. How can I just take this sound base? It's just play sound, and I would like to have at least something that is returning about this one. So this is sound that we have, and yeah, I would like to have this. Probably what I need to do is also having this audio component and then assign this sound. Let me check this audio, and this will be well, in that case it needs to be delete. Yes, this is here. Audio component. This is an audio component. Okay. What I need to do is just this audio, probably is just set set sound or something like that. Set sound. Yes. And I think that also we need to play this one instead of play sound allocation. I think that is also here. Play add or 3D sound, or what is this? 3. This one. Or set location. Yes, the word location, that's the one that we need. It's just taking this location for that, and then what we need to do is just display, but also set attenuation settings. Set attenuation settings, that should be the one that I'm missing here. Is the sound attenuations. Well, so what I'm doing is just not playing a sound but creating a new one with all the things that we need to manage, and after that we can manage the sound of this spell, change the volume for them. So that's why so simple like this is that one. And then what we need to do also is the volume here, so it's a volume multiplier, and we have all the values here that I was already creating. So for that it's like we remove this, we don't need this already, and this is the sound that we are choosing. Let's place all. So this is the sound that we have. Now we define the location of this one, which is as the actual location, the attenuation settings that are being fixed for all of them, and the next thing that we need to do is just create this one for the volume. I will just do something nicer, of course, because it's just being all together. Okay, and also this one, just move it down. So when we play the sound, it's just taking all those values that need to be, and it's just creating all the sound, play rate, and things like that. So we have already, let's put here for, well, or we can just new rewrote node, this one, and rewrote node. So here we define the sound, all the properties that we need for this sound, and also the volume. And after that, what we need to do is just play this sound. So this is just play this sound. New rewrote node. So after that, we have an audio component that we can change the value of the sound, like modify this one. So this is removing here, and this is the audio that we have here, and we have this adjust volume for that. This is going to 0 or 1. In that case, need to be this one here for the volume level will be here. So this is the volume level for the real one, not this. And this is active, it's not here at all. So this is not like it's playing, should be is playing. Set. Yes, here, and then here, and this is here already. Let me check. Is active, yeah. So what we have now is fading in and out this sound. It's just going to, if it's in, it's out. So this is, let's say in, it will be like it's playing yes, and then it's playing, it's like play this one starting from this point, and then adjust the volume to be according to this select, which is taking like yes or no from this function, and what it's doing is just taking from 0 to the maximum volume that is according to the bell, because the bell is playing. So the first time it's just playing like 100% or 1 of the volume, but it's just decreasing when it's just going to stop. So this is the one that needs to be here for checking about which kind of step is just this one having. So for display, as we are using the same sound all the time, I mean the same audio, there are a few things like that. For example, the actor location is not changing, the attenuation setting is not being changed. This is the volume multiplier that is changing, and also this one. So for both of them we can just define always. So we don't need this, or we don't need here every time that we are playing, but just when we start here, just define those properties that are not changing at all during the game, because the bell is not moving. Even it's mobile, but it's not moving from the location of the actor, so they have the same location and we don't need to redefine every time. And also here it's just creating this attenuation settings that is all the time the same. And after that we can remove from this point that we don't really need to set every single time. So this is removing, and we can already move all of them here to be closer. And this is the only things that we need to redefine every single time that we are playing a sound. So this is just taking like one random sound, playing here, and that's all. In case that you are reducing this sound over here, it's just playing or adjusting the volume directly to being 0, or if just this false, it's just playing like 1, or the sound that is coming from the time about decreasing this bell. To test this one, I think we need, well, first thing is not this charge controller, we don't need this. What we need is just the charge, it's just going here, and then it's this fade in and out, for this one. So it's just passing kind of the control to the bell, and the bell is managing, because this is the real actor that is playing the sound, not the charge. So that's why I'm just passing the control to them about this fade in and out. That's all. So can be controlled there about the sound. And this is the code that we have already managing all of this. So that's all what we need. And just for testing, I will, because I need to simulate that this is sleeping, for example. So what I need is just playing initially. Let's start playing. Let's start playing after 3 seconds, and I will start sleeping at this time, but the audio manager, we are still we are here already. So for that, if we start playing, we will have 3 seconds before this one is playing, and then the bell is playing. Okay, so we'll be playing after 3 seconds. Okay, this is playing, just for testing, and should be stopping. Yeah, and then resting again, and then playing, and so on. So for that, I need to go to sleep at the same time that this is playing. Play event, let's say 2 times. Compile. I don't know, it's just like a 10 seconds or 15 seconds, giving some time to stop already. So this is like for testing, like playing. If we start right now, what we need to do is just sleep at the same time to check if this one is decreasing or not. For that, I need just a bed. I will put here a bed so I can sleep. Yeah, just for testing. So let's wait until the bell starts and then go to sleep. Okay, since the sound is not decreasing at all, for that we'll also start the game later, so this guy is tired longer about the sound. So this is not decreasing at all, and what we need to do is just being sure that we are arriving. Well, the thing is, it's not going because this chart is not being assigned. And find reference, get river, things like that. So we need to find this audio manager where this river is being assigned. I think where you are going. Okay, so these charts need to be added to the audio manager. So this is get audio manager, otherwise we don't have any charts that you are trying to decrease. So set charge, and it will be just self. So we tell the audio manager that this is a chart that need to be decreased in case that this fade in and out is happening. Okay, I will probably put this code in any other place, but at the moment it's fine here. I will add in the level blueprint. Let's save just in case. Okay, let's start again. Wait until it's playing and then going to sleep. It's playing. Seems to me that it's not decreasing, so we have ready a chart to be there. What we need to check if the chart is just playing here, so let's wait for this F9, and this is chart and the play. Okay, this one is being called. Going there, then skip. It's going well. But what we need to check first is this one already playing? In that case, we go to playing, and if that's true, this is false. This is false. Yeah, going here, so it need to be this value, which is 0. That's exactly what we need. That's fine, and then resume. Well, the thing is, it's not a long track, so this sound is being finished already. F9, and because usually if I have a track, this sound is decreased, but in case that we have this bell is really small sound, like less than a second, so it's just like a kind of decreasing this volume, but after that it's just playing a new one with a volume here, so it's not ignoring, but it's just going there. So this volume multiplier need to be going according to this one, so in case that this is going to 0, we need to see if we are trying to do this fade in and out, and in that case, instead of taking this volume here, will be just 0. For that, I think I will just set display rate to 0 or something like that. Yeah, to stop this one. So in case going to 0, it's kind of decreasing this one to avoid next time to be playing again this bell. I will just stop this sound because the next time is not needed. So in fact, I could just do that and avoid all of them because you don't have enough time to fill this fade in and out at all because the sound is so small. So let's play again. Okay, so it's just decreasing and also stopping this one. Okay, so you can see that yeah, the sound is being decreased and should be also fade in and out, but in that case there is no sound there because probably have finished or just stop totally when you are doing this one. It's just stopping, so probably we don't need all those fade, and just stopping the sound should be enough, but it's working. So I will leave this one. It is also working. Here we don't need to do anything more. Just this one. So this one is already fixed for sleeping because I want the bell just playing during the time you are sleeping. This makes no sense. I will just decreasing all the sound for all around, so it makes no sense having this bell playing. So okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to do is just this one, removing the sound on sleeping. So this is already done. Another thing that I want to do is I need to add some blocker interactive on the chart. So for this chart I have a few doors, for example here, but the thing is, if you play here, let me show you. If you play here, you can see this door is of course interactive, so you can open this one. But if you try this one, should be also available here. Play. Let me just remove this sound of playing because you don't need anymore. This is disturbing. So just disconnect this one, was for testing. There's nothing here. Nothing here. The thing is, you can use this raycast that is just trying to find only interactive objects. So in that case, this is probably, as you can see here, you can find the place for this. It's just looking for interactive object. This wall is not interactive, so the rake is just crossing there and arrive to the door that is kind of open, but this is the one here. So for that reason, to avoid having, for example, control out of some few things like that, I have a actor component that is like interactive blocker that I'm using, for example, for windows or door or houses that you are, for example, not interacting with, let's say, a bench or a box that you have inside of the house. Let's say, for example, you put here some small thing. For example, let me check this. Okay, we have here this storage that you can just manage right here inside. But makes no sense you are here managing this storage from this point. For that reason, I have like a blocker wall here that is just really blocking the raycast that's crossing to this box. So what I do is just using blockers in walls to avoid managing interactive things out of the right place. So that's one thing that I have in the chart. I didn't add them, so you can do as this one, just the right is crossing the door, and I need to kind of block things here to not be able to manage things being from outside. So for example here, probably I have the same problem if the raycast is long enough, or maybe not enough. Well, this is fine. In fact, I'm missing, I see, so I'm missing the proxies here. Okay, fine. Anyway, this is the problem for this wall. We have already proxy here, but it's just finding this door through in the doors, through in the walls. So I want to put here a few things like that. For that, in this blueprint, I will create those things like this before. What we need to do is just adding here interactive blocker for that. So anyone, child actor, blocker 1. I need to be the class is already done. It's interactive blocker B, which is just kind of active interactive, but it's just disabled and not giving you any options. So just putting this one here is just like taking the action, nothing happens, but it's not crossing anymore. So this is something that I need to create here. This is something like that. I need to be bigger, of course, so I will just start here, and the scale for this one will be 3 meters, I think. I could put something much bigger, like 5, and I think it's already enough. Just blocking this interaction from this part. And what about door? Let me see. Yeah, it's going there, so that's fine. It has nothing with collision, or it's just blocking the right cast. So this is one of them. Let's check it. At this point, navigation should be not affected at all for this one, I think. Yes. Do we have also the proxies on this side? No proxies. Okay. So this is something that I need to fix. We will just take it out. If we have time, we can try to do today in the streaming. Okay. Let's check this blocker here to see if we cannot find already the door. Is this interactive blocker itself managing the actions and not giving you any action, but not crossing doors? Yeah, it's fine, it's working. Yeah, so that's just the door. And this one is also there, it's locked, but the thing is here it's working, and we need to do exactly the same here on the side. So I will just duplicate this, Ctrl W, blocker 2, and just move there. Let's do front. Is the front? No, left. It's just like that. And I want to check about the doors, not really messing. That's fine. This is not messing with the door. Not blocking already. And I would like to check also inside of the charts in case that we have, because we have here a door which is far from being managed out of the wall. But the thing is, if you are being here, you could manage also this one. From this point, you could just point down and see the door here. So for that, probably what I need to do is just create in here this interactive blocker also. But the thing is, it shouldn't be or having any collision here. So being kind of here is just blocking the door completely. But I could be, for example, from this point. So this is one of the things that I want to add here also, but it's not possible to manage out of the walls. Here I think it's fine because it's too far. That is not possible to manage this. So being here is not possible. Yeah, you can manage this door. Okay, and I want to see if you can manage also from this point. For example, as you can see, you can manage here. So I need also blocking here on the floor. This second floor, I need to have something that is blocking to me managing the door out of this one. But this one is far, and this one is also far enough not to be. So that's another door that I don't want to manage if you are on the bottom, or also if you are on the top of this one. So let's say in here, close door. I could really manage this one from this. This is fine. I can manage from this point, which could be more or less fine still, but I don't want to manage from this point. For example, here, if I can do that, yes, as you can see, I can do that from this point. but I don't want to manage this one. Yeah, so in that case I need also to add here another blocker, a couple of them for the floors that I have inside to avoid this one. So I will just duplicate again this one, for example. Control W will be, oops, no, not this one. Delete this one. Control W. Okay. Now we need to rotate. Or we can just define different sky, but this is fine. Rotating is fine. So first let's adjust for this first floor, which should be something like that. And I will probably add some, that's fine. It's because it's not blocking at all, there is no collision, and the only thing that I want to do is just having this one blocking. So for that I will just check that this is going well. A bit more, so kind of this is enough, so you cannot manage this one from outside. Probably will be something smaller. Yeah. And it will be out to avoid also managing from outside. In case you are here, you don't want to control this door from this part. This is also far. So let's move a bit there. This here is too far and you don't really have enough. The Raika is not so long to manage this one. So this should be in blocking the options here. Let's try this. But from outside it's almost impossible to write on this door. But just in case that I'm trying to do this door from this point, it's not possible to have this. And I will try from this point also, trying to access this one, but I think it's far enough to be, the Raika is not arriving to the door, so it's far. So since that there's nothing here, there is something that I need to fix also. And let's try from inside at this point. Now I don't have the option to open the door from this part. This is far. And even brain from this point should be blocking. So there is no way to open this door from this point. Just walk it there. Shouldn't have any collision with them. So this is fine. Just check what the collision. As you can see, the player collision, this one has no collision at all, so it's not blocking. What we need to do is also create it for the second floor. Exactly the same, so I will just duplicate this to this blocker 3, duplicate. This is blocker 4. I need to be moving a bit to the top to cover exactly this one. It's not easy to manage. Let's create something smaller so we can see the side of them exactly. I need to be exactly here, so it's almost possible from the second floor managing this. Something like that. And I could even manage a bit more. Yeah, something like this. So being on this one or this floor, should be not able to manage this door at all. And even from this point is also blocking, and you are here, it's already too much, it's too far from this raycast to be able to work. So let's try this. So let's say I'm already here inside. Here I can manage the door. If I go a bit to the top, still can manage this door here. A bit more. It's already, I think it is already blocking. I think this one is blocking me. So here you cannot manage the door at all. It's just blocking, and you cannot see anymore this option that we have here. I think this proxy has collision, and this interactive blocker. I need to check this. I think this one is blocking the. Let's see, well, collision. Press interactive. No overlap events. There's no. And should just this is not blocking things, should be should be custom for interactive, should collision this visibility and I think it's camera, but just ignore for example the pound. Let me check this. Physics body. Seems to me that it's just blocking the player and shouldn't be, because it's not even collision for that. So shouldn't be colliding with the player, but just only with the right cast. There's no only one that I want to do. So this is fine here, and then okay. So as you can see here, it's just ignoring the player. It's not blocking at all. But okay. So I would like to know where I am. This is another step. So it seems to me that it's just blocking. I will create something bigger to be completely sure that this is the one that is just blocking. So I will create something really big that is almost impossible to avoid. Something like that. So it's impossible being here to the top. Just to check if this is exactly the one that is blocking or it's just about the process that we have here. So in case that this is one, as you can see, this is not blocking the player at all. And this is something strange here. Yeah, we can just probably on the top with this one. So yeah, so since there is no blocking here, and just to be sure, I will just leave as it is in the past. So this is like a interactive. Okay. Let's save because it's just being a bit laggy, and I'm afraid that the editor is just crashing. Okay, so in case that this one is having any collision with the player, so be exactly it's not possible for me to move. So which means that just needs to be custom, and in that case it's just interactive, and the only thing that I need to do is just avoiding this spawn or any other. I think all the dynamics need to be avoided. This I think, yeah. Yeah, the rest I think is just fine. So let's play again and see what is happening with this collision or not. Okay, so we don't have now any collision for this blocker. As you go there, you can see that there is nothing here, nothing colliding, but at the same time there is not possible to avoid this one in the right cast. So I think the right cast is being blocked for this, so there is no way for the door being here, only if you are just avoiding this one. And then we have the door. And just to check, I will do the same here for this one. So it's not possible to manage this one with another one on the button, and then also this, which is not possible to manage this door. Just to be sure, just unlock this and try to do the same with this, which is not possible. So this is blocking but not blocking the player, so it's just okay, that's fine. This is one of the things that I was just missing, that is already done. Okay, let's save everything. What I have found right now is a small bug about the door space door. So door paste this. If automatic door, this one here, this block is not, this automatic closed. That's true. Going here, this is a player bound, and then going here and go to this is opening, collision, cut on closed, things like that. But I was missing an option to be automatic close, but need to be open. Otherwise, it's makes no sense to be there trying to close, because the only thing that I see is just the sound that is playing for this option or this event that is not needed. So what we need to do is be sure that this is just closing. I think will be something in the middle. It was before and I was removing for some reason, because it was maybe not checking about this blocker, so we need to see if this one is open. What we need to do is only about this automatic close. It's about the NPCs that went there and they want to be closed or not all the time if they are just closing. So for that, the only one that I need to check is this one. So in case that this is open, it needs to be true. Only for NPCs. If this is true, then that's something that needs to be managed, otherwise it is not. And I will just check this. And we will take later about the sequence about open and close also. In case that this is open, it need to be closed. Mm, mm. Hello. Well, I think I need to restart the editor for some reason. As you can see, it takes like 30 seconds to compose something. Okay. So let's try again. So this automatic door that I'm trying doing here. Okay, so go here. And there is nothing, no sound. I'm opening this one and I'm leaving. Okay, I'm leaving. This is closing, so this is working well. For some reason there are sometimes that is going really slow for that, but anyway, that's the checking that we need to do. This sound is playing only if of course you are open and you are trying to do all those things is open, otherwise makes no sense for that. And being about starting, I think that's the same. Because the thing is setting open or not after the animation, so there's a few times when you don't know exactly if this is open or closed, like that. Anyway. Move and remove. I cannot do anything, I'm just waiting for this compile. Okay, finally there. Let me just restart the editor. At the same time we can do with this with Blender we can create the proxies here for that, I think. Okay, so this is the exit here, opening here. Yeah, definitely something there. As you can see, the RAM is not enough, and also hard drive is working. Just trying to open the Blender. And I will add the proxy that we are missing for the chart. Okay, the chart is here. And to see what the things are the this one. This is the model that are not having any proxies that we need to add here right now. So we'll add just for this one, add a cube. will be the group is just proxies, and the name for this one will be obx third one. And I think we could try to use modifier as we was also using for this one. I don't remember, this one is mirror and also array this value. So I will just try to do the same with this, and then after that we'll just do separate them, all the parts that we have. Here I will add a new mirror. Let's do an array. Probably because I did in the opposite way. So here, and then we add also the array. But this array needs to be no, sorry, mirror. Okay, so we should have more or less. I think we apply them and apply also here, and then what I'm doing is just modifying them. Okay, move all of them here. Okay, so we have all the proxies here, and what I need to do now is just select all and then separate by loose parts, and after that we have created here, as you can see, a few of them. So what we need to do is just rename them. And we have all the proxies already, and we don't need to really create or duplicate all of them, just using this. This is 6, 7, and exactly 8. Should be 8. Okay, if we check of them, 1, 2, 3, even they are not well done. I mean, the order to be, but anyway, they are. Just to be sure, we will try to see all the proxies that they have in this chart. I think what we are missing is, in case that for example the guy is trying to jump here, I think this one should be bigger, just to avoid jumping out. For example here I say, so the rest is more or less fine, we don't need anything more, because this one for example I don't think it's possible to jump from this point. Even the jump is just removed, so there is no way to jump. So yeah, no way from this point to jump on. Just in case, I will just create a hiker. So there is no way from this chart, from those stairs, to do something strange here. That's all. Okay. So we have already the proxy that we were missing. What we need to do is just just set this export only selected and geometry faces, and this is the chart. I'm just opening this one, so it will be in a second. Okay. This is charge PP, and the one that we are using this one. I will just break the lining. Okay, done. I think. Let's check about the placing. We have the new one. Okay, we have ready all those collision. I mean the longer one, yeah. So let's try. You cannot see the door from this point. This is just far. Now it is. We check all of them. Yes. Yes. And yes, but this is the last one that should be from the opposite way. This is also working. This is working. Also this one. And also this. That's working. About this blocker is also working. And we cannot see this also this door here. So this one is also working. So yeah, we have the missing proxies that we were just not having. Okay, let me just remove this from the list of pending things. So that's done. More pending things. Another thing that is not working well is about the river. So the river, in fact, there are two spline. You can see here because this is one of them from this side, and then another one being smaller here. So there are two different spline working. For the sound controller, I have a few blocks here that you can see. For example, this one, which is just managing the sound for this block, and that you can see that there are a few more of them. I can see from the top. This is top here, white frame. Okay, so you can see here a block with there are a few blocks that we can manage. So this is one of them, this is the second one, this third and fourth. and for that any of them has a sound, so you can go walking and having this sound according to them. Yeah, I think it's this trail BP river. Yeah, that's the river. In fact, this just the water. In fact, there are two of them, different them, but the river is only one single trail. So what is happening is on those blocks, when you go inside of this block, this start playing a sound. So this is why you have this round here. The sound is just playing when you go inside or outside, and if you move to another one, it's just passing the control to there, and then it's just putting a new sound here, and then just continue working on it. So since that people report that for some reason you are leaving and then you are losing this one, which I was just planning to have, is something different, because as you can see every single box has sound that's just moving and continue playing and things like that. What I would like to have is just this trail river having a sound, and this sound will be going across this one and just having those blocks. So in that case that you are arriving to this block, I would like to have this sound playing or not. If this is too far, it's not a problem, because the sound will be really low. To avoid also paying, for example, here and just checking for all of them, I was just creating 4 of them, but I think that could be easier to have a big one covering all the trail, and we don't need to really delegate or just change in between sounds. So for that, I would like to refactor everything that I have, having one single block, this box collision, and the river will have this audio sound that is just playing across the river, and you don't need to have something so complex like moving the sound, stopping, playing from this last point, things like that, because since that sometimes it could be maybe broken and then it's not working well. So what I will create is probably this sound spline. This is only one, and I will create a big one, and this is more or less that's all, so it's not having any other overlap. And yeah, I need to manage a bit better having only one block. For that I will just duplicate this and keep the old code just in case that I need this. Duplicate this, duplicate, and I will just create this. This is fine. What I'm going to do is just the rotation should be no rotation at all. That's why it's mine? Okay, I will just something like this, just to be sure that this is the one that we are modifying. I would like to see where the rotation is made there. Okay, 0 here. Okay, and what we need to do is something bigger. So for that, I think I was just modifying this. Yes. So first we need to do something longer, like this. Yes. I will just align here. 13,000 should be enough. No. This is fine. What we need to do is this is, as you can see here, this is a river, so this is good, but for example this one is too close to this, so it need to be something bigger, like 5,000 or 4,000. Something like that. So when you are going, for example, from this point, this one is not much, but I don't want to have also all the time the river just trying to adjust the sound if you are not really there. So that's why creating a big one for all of them is not good better idea. So I'm not sure that I'm just doing this new one. I'm not sure. I will just check again. In that case, we will have a ending with, let's say, for example, this one, which is big, something like that. So, for example, being here is all the time checking about the sound of the river when it's probably too far to have the sound of the river. Probably just being in the charts, for example, here. Let me just deactivate this. Can I just deactivate? Yes, just removing this one to clear. And also it's clear. Well, in fact, I could just delete this. No. Because I was just doing this. This is the new one, and this is the old one. Okay. Okay, so let's just. This is a trial river, and this one need to be the, I think, the 2, because this one is referencing about this, yes, and this one need to be the VP, so we keep everything as it was. This is 2, this is the river, but it's not working. Okay, because it need to be in the same. Okay, sorry, that was just breaking everything. Okay, now it's fine. So this one is referring to this, and we can delete this one already. Try again. Okay. So for example, here in the chart, if you are here in the chart, it should be far enough not to hurt the river. Just for that, I will just check where we are. So let's check here about the sound. Otherwise you are checking all the time about the sound of the river, even being quite far. So it makes no sense to having one covering all the river. So here there is no river. Here you have, and then just living. Sound is coming. By living. Yeah, as you can see, it's not so far from this river, so in case that we use big one for World River, it will be really too much. Therefore, so we're just keeping a few blocks to have more detail, more definition about the size of the river. This is probably the long distance of the river. Then start. So I don't want to have big one covering because the river have a few curves, so it's not possible to really adjust one single big square. So that's why we have all of those things that you can see here are just a few blocks for the river, but I'm not planning to create a new one. So I will leave as it is at the moment until I have a better idea to manage this. And let me check also what we are missing. This one, this one, this one. What we need to do also is just reducing the volume for. Let's quit this. Reduce the volume for some sounds. So counter TT. where do I have the sounds that I want to modify? So my sounds are here. Okay, so this is the sound that I have is this one, which is a bit loud. So what we want to do is just reduce this one with the, I think it's the gain here. I don't know where I have this. And it was I don't remember. This one. So initially I think this is the one that I have. Oops. I want to know which one is being here. Let me stop also this. And let's increase a bit of the sound. So this is sound, and what I want to do is just amplifying this one, so the new one will be something smaller. So yeah, so initially it has like 5. Okay, what we want to do is, let me try again. 2.5. Needs to be something smaller. About 1. Since that this is not minus 0.1. Okay, this one is working. So it should be, in case that we do, and this is a 1. And let me try again the new. So what we need to do is reduce this one. So amplify -5. What about -10? It should be less than it is already. So we reduce this one, and I will save as reduce sound. So export audio. It will be crickets, but I will just do something like -6. Just to know how much I have been changing this one. So we'll just save. This is not, and I need to replace this one here. So let's check what the sounds. First person audio, and I will just add this 6 dB. And I want to see where I was using this one. Probably is reference viewer is the audio manager. exactly, that's the audio manager. So I want to open now the audio manager. Yes, and the sounds for night, I have only one at the moment, but this is a list of them. So I have here like sounds at night, and I will have this crickets reduced. So the sound at night will be a bit reduced. What we need also is the sound for let me see, about water, which is also too loud. What is this sound? Cancel. Okay, string. This is some for the river that I want to also do something not so strong. So for that I will do something not so strong. Paste here. River. And I will do the same, just reduce the sound. So this is sound that we have. And amplify -6 probably. It's too much. -10. It's already not so strong. Okay, I will just keep like this. Audio export, and this will be reverb -12 dB, just to have a kind of reference for this one. So this is the new sound. What we want to do is this reverb here, so coming. What we need is finding this reference also. Find reference viewer. We can see that it's only this is in the map. So well, we can just check again the river that we have here. Probably it's just signed to this to the blocks and the sound that need to be played. So this is the river. Exactly, as you can see here, you have already assigned which one are you planning to play. So we need to assign all of them a new sound, because I was planning to use this kind of code for any other places, and I want to have different sound if you have, for example, a creek or just river or things like that. So I was not just forcing to be the same sound all the time, but just creating something that could be configured on any instance of this block, so I can have like a few of them in the same level with different sounds according to different size for this. Let's check now the sound of the river. What is happening here? Why is not being saved? Okay, so let's play here. Let me say again. The sound is really low. You cannot even hear this. Comparing with birds or things like that. So I think I will create something not so low, and for that this is the original, and then the effect will be, let's try -6. Accept and then save as. -6 dB. Save. Nothing. And let's add here the sound again. And I will just create here the sound for something different. That's 3, 6. That's also 6. Save. And try again when finished, of course. I hope saving and not stressing, because it seems to me taking really long to almost nothing, because I would have one single sound here, which is, let me check, well it's a bit big for some reason exactly, so yeah, it's just scratching. Okay, I will stop everything here. Okay, and try again. I really don't know what the problem is, and probably it's just about OBS altogether with Unreal Engine, and opening all of them I don't have enough RAM, and this is just crashing, as you can see many times. I'm just working out of the camera most of the time, and well, from time to time I have something crashing, but when I'm doing streamings it's just crashing every 15 minutes, sometimes every 5 minutes, and this is exactly the same project that I was using for a really long time, so really don't know what the problem is. I was already upgrading this week OBS, so I'm not sure if there's a problem with this, but yesterday and today it's just crashing all the time, well, only during streaming, so that's why I don't know if any of you have the same problem with OBS, because I have seen many times that they are reporting problems with OBS, but yeah. The thing is that it takes really long in my computer just to start the editor, really long, and I cannot restart every 5 minutes. I spend more time restarting than really working on it. And the project is really small. I cannot imagine people having these huge maps with a lot of vegetation and many other things like creature and things like that. Mine is really small. I have like 12 houses there, so it's not really a huge project. It's like 200 meters square, even less meters. I mean, it's not even 1 kilometer square, and yeah, it takes probably it's just my computer, because I see, for example, here as you can see that is less than 1 megabyte a second reading the hard drive. So this one of the problems. Okay, open him. Restore, but what also I was doing last time. The audio manager, nothing here. Okay, what I need to do is just checking first things about the river. So the river, do I have this sound? No. Do I have even the sound? No. Okay, so we need to export again this sound. So the sound is here. Let's save. Now let's use this one. Check this. And also this. Save all of them. And just increase the volume here and then play. So I can hear the river, but not really strong. By living, it's just lost. So I will try not so strong, something different. Try again. And I will change to -3. Okay. -3. It's not. I think I will delete them. Well, stop here. Delete this. Yes, it's not being in use at all. And I will use this 3 here also. And this is 3. Save everything before it's crashing. And try again. So start listening to the river here. So you have sound of the river, but not so strong. And also this one is too strong, the one from the view. This one is too strong, so I will also replace this one, this sound. For that I have so I don't need this. I'm not using this. Yes, not using exactly. The water mill, the one that I have is water outside. So we'll also reduce this sound. This is the original one, which is so strong, and I will do probably -5, even less. Let's try this one. This water mill, water outside, -8, I think I did. Okay, and we need to import this one here on water mill. I'm just keeping the original one just in case that I want to change again more or less, or doing something like that. For that, what we need to do is just this. I'll try to find where's this managed. Probably is the water mill. Exactly, water mill. So let's go to the blueprint and find where this sound is paying water outside here, and this is the one that we are using. So this is not so strong. Say everything. And let's see if this is reduced already or not. We have already sound here. Let's play just here. I see what the problem with the river is. It's too far from this one, but if I'm arriving to this point, it's much stronger sound. So for this wheel, I think is enough. I mean, it's not so strong as it was, and now it is, but it's just in front. Otherwise, but you can even hear the things like the bears or the river. So what I want to have is the river not so strong. I will just check here, because otherwise it's just checking from middle of this point, but here it is stronger. So for that, what I need is just let me see the river again, the 3, and I will use something like 6 probably, or even 12. I'm not sure. Let's try 6 that we have already. So about the river. What is my river? Interior, not market. Let me see, that's the river. I will use this 6. In fact, this zone should be linked to the trail here, this river. Because of course we are playing the same sound for all the trail and not only about any box here, but just in case that I have something different. Let's see. Well, now it's definitely reduced, not so strong. You can hear, for example, your steps on the wood at the same time that you have the river. And for example, from this point you cannot even hear the wheels. And now you start listening to this one, but you are really close to this. I will let you check also at the night. How strong is the sound at night? So let's move to night. So this is playing at 4. Okay, about the sound that you have here at night, you can even hear your steps. And I will just try to be closer to the river also to have all the sounds all together. Yeah, seems to me that they are just much better. Yeah, exactly. So I will leave it as it is. In that case, I'm using this 6, so I will delete this. That is not paying reference. Nothing. Okay. We need to put this one. Let me check if there are any other sound that's still strong enough. So this one is fixed, and this one is also fixed, and I think this is also fixed here, and this is pending, this is also pending, so this is also fixed. So yeah, the sounds are already fixed, the one that I want to fix from this demo. And there is only a few things that I'm missing. Is one of them is this window that I need to finish, but it's mainly I have to stop this one because there is no window here. It will be probably exactly the same like this. I mean, same style and everything like that. That's working. So I will just create the same here. So this is one of the things that I'm missing. The delay tags need to be reviewed. Yeah, this one, that one. And I need to add also a new sound for the quest and new sound for the water, even if it's just under the water. So there's another thing is when you are going under the water or just walking on the water, let's say here. Example, let's say here. So here I'm just walking, and for example here, I'm already under the water, as you can see here, or for example here. So I would like not be running at this point, because I'm just running around. It would be more or less fine, but not in that case. That's why I don't want to be running in the water. So for that, what I have is I have ready boss collision for the river, so I know when the player is just being underwater. I will just show you with first person character. And what we have is this underwater here. This is a construction script even graph here. So this is underwater. Let's put some mess in screen for debug so we can see. This underwater and kind of living water. Living water. So we have already this box that is notifying the player. Let's say you go there and say you are underwater. You know you are not really completely underwater, but you are already on the water. So this is just live in the water. In this case you are underwater again, and so on. So during the time you are underwater, I would like to have that is not possible to run. I don't have any animation for swimming, but at least not running. And also one of the things that is just living and coming underwater, I need to check about how deep it is. I mean, in that case, to know when are you really completely underwater. In that case, just changing the sound for the water and not the same with birds and everything. But at least the first thing that I need to do is just when you are kind of underwater here, it's just touching water with your legs. In that case, it's not possible to run, so you are not planning to run here in water like that, you know, but just only be possible to be walking. And I think that should be also tired about this. So we just walking on the river. If I can leave this one. Because in the future I'm just planning to put some kind of proxies blocking you, so you are not able to go to the river. But at the moment I will just keep things like that. So when you are going underwater, let's say here, and then go to the player, and then you are not able to run here. So that's why I was just checking here, for example, kind of if you press this one and you want to run, it's not possible to start running. But what is happening is you are still running, which is just being managed by this one. This function thing here, this update stamina here during the time you are running. But in case that you are already running, the only way to stop you is just coming here probably and then change the speed and just stop this one, and then just this stamina. So the first thing is when you are going under the water, the first thing that we need to do is just stop you running. That's the first thing that I want to do, is just stopping you running. So for that is both of them that we need to copy, and this update stamina is also the one that is after update stamina. After some time just clear this timer to be updating all the time because you are running, so it's just trying to update. So I need to do is also stopping this timer in case that you are doing something. So I need to be stop this timer and cut this one, so it's not possible for you being running. For that it's maybe easier to manage this one with a couple of functions, and instead of having here all this code that I have for running, I would like to have something like a left shift is to kind of start running and stop running, so I can just call this stop running at any time, and I don't need to duplicate this code for all those things. So I will create here like a new function that will be start running, anyone will be stop running, and probably to manage also here will be like go underwater and kind of leave water, because I would like to manage from this point better than having here. There is no really modifying a variable from outside of this one is not really going well. So in that case should be like go underwater, and then in this code I will just manage this one. I will just here, and this is something that we don't need to know from this point. It's just something completely out of our control here. Yeah, because I need to compile this one. Okay, go underwater, and this is the one that is managing, for example, this state. It's just changing this is underwater. This is saying set to yes, and after that should be managing, as I said, for example, this stop running. So I will just call this stop running. Call stop running. That's the first thing that we need to do, is just stop running in case that you're running, and leave water will be just set underwater to false, just to manage from the same place for all the code instead of being managed from any other places. So this one should be now compiling. Okay, so this one is going underwater, and this will be leave water, things like that. Hello, come to. Thank you. I was doing all of them. Modeling. I'm mainly coder, so that's I was doing all of them. Completely everything that you see here, all the props, buildings, and even the vegetation tree, the flowers, everything like that. So I was doing even the shades for the river, everything that you see is just I was creating. If you are interested on modeling, I did many of them during streaming. So you have, for example, props or cards. I was doing this card. You can check my videos on YouTube. I'm uploading later all my streaming. I was streaming for a year already. So you can see, for example, this house I was also doing during streamings. This card, the flowers. Maybe last week I was doing the flowers here. You can see this chart I have been doing for the last maybe 2 weeks. You have everything interiors here. You can see here all the interiors, things like that. So yeah, you can check all of them for modelings and everything, also like level designing, painting the frame, all those things. So if you are interested on modeling especially, there are a lot of videos that you can check. Let me just pass there where I have this, all the links. You can also check about the links for Twitter and YouTube. For example, this one I was doing also during streaming. This small one, this is really easy, nothing complex. Or for example, this one I was doing also this week. You can see this door gate, or this one I was doing maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. So if you check, for example, about this one on Twitter, you can see which day was this one, and you can go to the YouTube and then finding the video for this one exactly. Or well, if you want to see something, for example, this water mill, you have also interiors here with all those things. So you can check about, for example, modeling this water mill, or I don't know, any part that you are interested on it, because I was not modeling everything, but most of the thing. I mean, for example, about the houses, you have 4 or 5 different models. I was modeling maybe 2 of them or 3, which is exactly the same for the rest. But yeah, everything, like for example the rocks here, all the tables and small things like that. So there are many things, not everything during streaming, especially because when I was starting doing this project, there is not much thing to show. It's just modeling, so I was just modeling a few things, and the rest of the time was just modeling myself. But after some time, when I'm just already showing most of the things, for example this level, everything that I'm needing, I'm just doing it while, because the models are not really complex. Let's say, for example, this small thing or those things are not really complex. So instead of spending 1 or 2 hours modeling this, I was just doing maybe 15 minutes and then add to the level and continue working on things like that. But for example, the chart was taking longer, especially for things like that. Or for example, there's another window that I have here, so it takes a bit more time. So I have like one video for charge blocking, for example, another video was the tower, It's also the tab where you can go inside. You have all the labels here and everything like that. No, I'm using Blender. So everything is just Blender. I don't use these internal tools, and I never use. I don't know how to use this one. So everything is just Blender. So for example, this chart I was creating one day the block, another day was creating, for example, all the roof that you have here. This complex thing here. So another day was just the room, another day was just creating, for example, the windows here, small windows. So you have few videos for something which is much bigger. But there are a few things like that is taking me 15 minutes, or not really like being a big video for things like that really take 5 minutes. Or for example, this one I was doing yesterday, as you can suppose it takes 10 minutes to do a few boxes, you know. About textures, I'm using this textures.com, and I was just modifying some of them on Photoshop, but mostly all of them are exactly the same. The key here is using decals, so all of them are decals from default, or let's say the same texture for all of them. So let me show you, for example, here, if we are just hiding all the decals, you can see that all of them are using exactly the same textures all the time. So there are like, or maybe 10 or 20 of them that are default textures. All of them are from textures.com, so you can find them. This one, for example, or the good here, you can find them. All of them are using the same texture. For the good, there are two different things. This one I was creating myself on Photoshop, and also some helping with the shader for all those dirt using this word alignment. For example, this one is also from Photoshop, this one is Photoshop, but the rest are just generic. All of them are completely generic, so I'm using the same high label for all of them. So for example, this one I'm using this, which is this material, which is using this one, which is just tile label, and this is the same for all of them. If I'm just checking, for example, I know this one here, is I check about this one, and we are going to the same place and going to the same texture. So all of them are using this kind of tile label textures. But if I'm going to this one, for example, and you check about the, this is a blueprint, but anyway, if you check about this static mesh here, well, you can see the texture is just going to the same one. You know, this is not possible here to just check this one, but if I'm opening the blueprint, you can see this static mesh, and if I go to this texture, you can see we are going exactly to the same place and then the same texture. So all of them are using the same generic texture that I'm just reusing. The key is just using decals to make what more interesting, and yeah, all those dirt and things like that. So they are not really custom texture per mesh or object, but just reusing all the time the same textures, and then creating a lot of decals to make something dirt. Otherwise, I'm just using sometimes, for example, here I'm using the same texture, but just putting all those dirt together with the shader. So in the shader I have like word alignment, and well, performance kill is about what? The decals. Decals are kind of post-process painting later. So in that case, you are painting on the final rendering. So you are only painting one single time this decal over. So in case that you are, let's say, so close here, this decal you are painting, I don't know, like 600 pixel by 300 pixel. That's the case. If I go here, it's just painting later. You are painting like 25 pixels by 30 pixels. Not really painting the wall decal, because it's just painting over the final image. So in that case, I'm never painting. I mean, doesn't matter how many decals you have. You are never painting more than the pixel you have on screen. Even they are using the wall screen. Do you understand what I mean? Like this one is using this small square. If I'm going there, using something smaller, and this is smaller. If I'm going there, I have more of them, but never more than one time the screen. So they are not really painting all of them the wall size of all of them. So yeah, I don't have any at the moment I don't have any performance problem with the decals. Well, comparing with many other yeah, so I don't see any problem with using decals because they are being painted over them, and yeah, in the end you are not painting like 30 of them. For example, this one here on this house. Okay, so in that case it's not painting because you cannot see them, so you are not really painting all of them every time. The same with the models, you need to kind of rendering with this house, you need to be rendering the whole house. Of course you cannot cut this part, but the decals are only painting the one that you have on screen and nothing more. So you are not really painting all the decals all the time, only the one that you can see on the right side, the real side that you can see. So I'm painting like, I don't know, 100 pixels here and 100 pixels here, and that's all. I'm not really painting the whole screen with decals, and this is not managing even about the drop calls, because you paint all of them, all the decals in the same kind of drop call, because all of them are being painted later after everything had been painted, and applying this post process and everything. It's just painting all the decals in one single pass. Yeah, those definite decals. So yeah, it's not being part of this rendering, but it's after rendering everything. It's just painting over the screen, kind of post processing. So just managing pixels, in fact. So it's not really rendering on the rendering loop. So decals are deferred, and then you are painting later when everything has been painted ready. So that's why I don't find any problem with rendering at the moment. There are many other things that are really killing my performance, like for example dynamic lights or things like that, but the rest is fine, so it's working fine. But did you have any, I don't know if you did check for this one, do you have any information demonstrating or just testing that this is not true? Just let me know, because I'm, of course, I don't know about everything. But I mean, what I see, what I have, I don't have any problem with performance about the decals. I don't see any big problem with decals about performance. But again, if you have any information or tried this one, I found where the problem is, just let me know. But for me, this this way doing things is working well, and then I'm avoiding to have a lot of different textures. And for example, I can group many of them because they are using exactly the same shader and texture. So for example, all of them with this texture streaming, they're the same all the time, so I don't have any single texture per any single object here. I can just merge all of them later and then avoid also drop calls and things like that. So they use the same materials all the time. I mean, I don't have a lot of different textures in my level, a few of them, and I'm just reusing all the time. For this case, for example, it's not possible because it's just quite specific for this one or this one also. But all of them are exactly the same. There are only two different textures for this, and the same one I'm reusing here, and also here. This one also. So I'm just reusing most of the time all of them. For example, here you see those stones, and you can see here again those stones, but you can see here exactly the same stones here and here. And if you check a few more things, you can see the same textures all the time. So they're just repeating. And the thing to be more interesting is just adding a few decals, so you cannot see like a pattern for all of them exactly the same. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I was using, and working fine. People were supporting a lot of frames when they are trying this game. Frame rate is really high, like 100, 150, so seems not being a problem with this. So I think I will finish here the streaming, because I was streaming a bit longer as usual, and this is time for me to leave. I'm streaming every day, so if you want to watch more, just follow this streaming, and will be notified when I'm streaming. I'm streaming every day at the same time, around 2 hours before, like this, and on weekends in the evening. Check also all those links for Twitter or YouTube channel with a lot of streamings in the past. I hope all of you enjoy here, and see you the next time. Thank you everyone for coming. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.